Are live. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna wait for more people. Just gonna wait for more people. Hope you guys today. Those who are gonna be watching this after we end the live video. I hope you're all doing all right also during this time. Oh look, we have 2 viewers. All right, we'll wait a short bit for more people. Okay. It's kind of warm right now, but you know, let's all try to keep a cool head, especially during this pandemic time. Let's wait for a couple more people. Oh, we've already hit 9. Let's see if we can hit. Okay, there we go. We've hit 10 people. So I guess I'll get started. So greetings, everyone. My name is Mindmover Fred. I am one of the resident scientists. I'm actually the resident chemist of the Mind Museum. So we'd like to welcome you all to our Mind at Home program. It is a type of online learning tool that we're working on. So we're going to be having some activities through this Mind at Home, and most of them are going to be very DIY. So we hope that you can try these at home and that you can join us with it. We started doing this Mind at Home because right now we're all going through a very trying and tumultuous time in history with the COVID-19 pandemic underway all across the globe. According to the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, one of the things we can do to help cope with the current situation is to take care of our minds also by doing things that we enjoy, doing things that help us to relax a bit, because all of this pent-up tension can be very, very painful for people during this troubling time. Before we get started on our experiments today, I'd like to remind everybody to wash your hands, okay? So please remember to wash your hands during this trying time, and actually in general all the time. You should wash it with soap for about 20 minutes, making sure that you get through all the nooks and crannies. That includes between the fingers, also in the palms, at the wrists, behind your thumb, and also at your fingernails. So wash your hands for about 20 minutes. And apart from that, you can also help slow down COVID-19 by staying at home if you can, because limiting the amount of social contact helps us to slow down the spread of COVID-19. We call that social distancing. So if you can afford to stay at home, please do so. Please also wash your hands again. Now with that out of the way, let's get started with today's experiments. So today I'm going to be helping you guys to build a nifty little tool. Well, not really a tool, it's more of a toy, like this. So what is this made of? I should move this away from my face. Okay, it's made of 3 things. First of all, no, it's not orange sticks and red sticks. It's made out of 3 things. Number 1, your hands. Number 2, of course, popsicle sticks. And number 3, your imagination. All right, so these little devices or little toys are called stick bombs. They are not explosive in the sense that they involve fire. They don't require fuel, and they rely on just a little bit of physics in order for us to get them to work, and also a little bit of an understanding of energy. Now, when we think of energy, we usually think of energy as your lights, like right, a lot of lights right now, your solar energy, your sound energy. You can also think of energy as chemical, geothermal, geothermal and hydroelectric, rather. You can also think of energy as just something that powers things. But sometimes we forget about the hidden kinds of energy, how energy itself likes to be transformed and likes to turn into different forms of energy. Right now, our sticks hold together very well, and I'll tell you why they're called stick bombs in a bit. They hold very well together because of the orientation of the sticks. They hold together because the different sticks are overlapping one another. But as soon as I dislodge or remove one of the sticks, let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1, and all right. The entire structure falls apart. So that's why they're called sticks, because as you remove or dislodge one of the popsicle sticks, the entire system or your structure falls apart. You can use a variety of materials to perform this experiment. As the important thing to remember is that for this experiment, items have to be fairly rigid, but also quite plastic. What does this mean? Elasticity means that an object can be deformed mechanically. Look at the way this stick, oh wait, I'm going to move it up here, can be bent. So there's a bit of deformation there. And as soon as I stop deforming it, it springs back to its original flat shape. Now, it's that deformation, that elastic deformation, that creates a lot of elastic energy or mechanical potential energy inside of our structure. I actually have a second one here somewhere. No, okay, actually in this time. Now, the bending, you can actually see that there. All of the sticks are slightly bent. Bending allows us to store a lot of potential energy or energy based on position. And once we dislodge this, all of that energy is released because the sticks want to return back to their original shape, converting that potential energy or energy in position, into an energy in motion. So I'm actually going to do that to this one also in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So I've shown you 2 times, but I did promise you that I will help you to make some yourselves. So I'm going to try it right here. I'll show you some tricks and how you can make it. So got your sticks. But I'll be doing the original line earlier. And what we're going to do is we arrange it. I've colored them. It's easier. Again, you can use any material as long as very rigid, also kind of flexible or kind of elastic. And then you're going to fan them out like a chicken foot, making sure that the center stick is on. The center stick, the red one over here, is in the front. I'm just going to hold it up like that. There you go. Okay. Now, when you're making a stick bomb, the standard way of doing it is to weave it like a basket weave. Now, that means that we're going to be alternating between going over and under and over and under. So, for the system, our red stick is already over orange sticks. So, we're going to try to lock it in place by putting our green stick over the red but under the orange. That way, the two sections of the green stick, the two ends are holding the orange stick in place at the same time as the red stick is holding the bottom section. Then we'll be adding another stick. I'm actually going to pull that down a bit in the opposite direction. Another weave. So the red over the sticks. We'll get a definition holding. If constructed properly, it should hold itself in place. There we go. So, an example of our stick bomb. Now, you can see that there's a bit of deformation like I noticed earlier. Some materials might do better than others. There are many different ways to form the stick bomb. There are actually many also lessons we can use these stick bombs for, apart from talking about potential and kinetic energy. I'll give you guys a moment to think about it. If you have any suggestions about what lessons can be used or taught through this experiment, please send a message. But there is one that I'm very, very fond of. It starts with a G. Can somebody guess that? I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, so if you answer geometry, you'd be correct. Because these sticks generally have to form a sort of orientation with one another. I like to use this topic also to talk about geometry, so it's also very applicable for that. In this case, we have one design that looks kind of like a house, and you can talk about triangles there. I've got another one like earlier that sorry, I don't have it anymore, like this. That can be how do you call this? The angles of equilateral triangle also, because it forms one. We can also use it to talk about orthogonal angles, or even make a little house frame here. Oh, okay, you can see me through there. So when building your stick bombs, you can again use any material. In this case, I've just made some out of smaller popsicle sticks, just to demonstrate. They tend to vary depending on the size and the amount of tension you create. Popsicle sticks, for example, are quite potent, I would say, because they are quite thick compared to your standard fat tongue depressors. So let's see if this one blows with surprising force. Again, there's a lot of potential energy there stored in each of the points. By the way, when you're making them, it's also a good rule of thumb to remember that each stick has at least 3 other sticks. So you can count them off here. I'm actually going to get a pen for that. 1, 2, 3. That's for the first purple stick. Same with the second purple stick. 1, 2, 3. And for the red sticks, you've got 1, 2 for this stick, 3, and 4. Now let's see if we can activate this in 3, 2, 1. There. Okay. Very, very. I want to go back to the orthogonal one, or the one that looks kind of like a house. You'll notice that if you were to increase the number in your how do you call this, in your system or your stick bomb, it tends to get kind of weak, right? All right. Oh, hello, Eliam. I haven't seen you in a long time. Anyway, so these little stick bombs tend to weaken if you were to increase the number of angles formed. So let's see this. For example, it's actually quite weak. Another way to strengthen them would actually be again material or to the amount of sticks. We have the exact same orientation. You'll see it's actually double in strength. So let's try that out. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's a lot more strength. So I find this to be very, very fun. You can really use your things in order to make it very interesting. For example, I was able to make this very interesting art, very difficult to, but I'm going to break it. 3, 2, 1, and oh, that looks like it didn't break up. Huh, that was surprisingly stable. Okay, so I guess that's part of what I was talking about the creativity in making these little stick bombs. Sometimes you think something is very unstable, but it turns out to be very stable. You can also use this for talking about engineering concepts with your kids, or to teach yourself some engineering concepts. Before I close off this demonstration, I actually want to show you guys one more set. Give me a sec. I'm actually going to move these out of the way because I've got so many of them here. I've got a bit of a mess. All right. So yeah, your stick bombs, when they in together or when they're together, actually, let me move that back so they can touch in space. There we go. They can actually be used to also teach people actions. So let's go back to this one again. You can see that each stick is touching at least 3 other sticks. Each stick is creating a lot of bends here, which store a lot of potential energy. So each of these bends here is storing a lot of potential energy, and it seems forming a right angle in each of these little boxes. But then the sticks, when you count them against each other, are also arranged at a 45-degree angle. So this last demonstration, last wink, is called the Cobra Wave, and I'm actually going to show it to you guys again in 3. Oh, hold on. 3, 2, 1, and All right. So I think it was fun, and I hope you learn a little bit about how to make your own stick bombs. Again, it is only limited to your imagination. Use any number of materials. Oh, thank you so very much. It looks some of our, wonderful viewers very interested in trying this out. I'll be taking a couple moments for questions and maybe some clarification. And the only limit is probably the number of you might have. So I'll take a moment for some questions. I'm actually going to clear this up. For those who are wondering also, these little bombs here, again, they are not real bombs. When you're making them, please be kind of careful. I noticed that the best material for these are actually your very flat and wide material like these. Otherwise, tongue depressors. But yes, again, popsicle sticks will also work. Just be kind of careful. You can't and object this harder time six, but they're not possible. I asked mom and dad for some help with that. Okay, can I demo again? I'll make one. Yes, of course I can demo one. We'll go back to the very original one I showed you guys. The reason why I went with that design, the one that's shaped kind of like a house, is because I find it very easy to make at home, and because I think it requires very few number of pieces. Although the other one that looked like an equilateral triangle had only 4 sticks instead of 5, it's significantly easier to produce this one. So again, we have our 3 sticks, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put the 2 orange sticks behind the green one. Then we're going to fan the orange sticks behind the green stick so that the green stick is in the middle, kind of like a carrot or a chicken. Anyway, it's kind of very object, but it's green center. We'll get another stick and we will weave it between the sticks, making sure that the red stick holds the orange sticks down on the opposite side from the green stick. So if the green stick is covering here in front, means orange stick, so it has to be the green stick. So we'll move it behind the orange sticks. That's one hold, one basket weave, and then we'll use second again another red one over here. This time from the back of the green in front of the orange to hold it in place. Alright. And then that's one of them. There. So to the first there. Yeah, to find some patterns or copies, you can either try making them with your imagination, which is what I would advise, or you can also check the comment section. I'll probably add some photos of how I made these so that you guys can have a better look at how to try them out yourselves. I can at least promise you guys. You can try looking for some online. Actually, I first learned about this because a very long time ago, I saw a 10-year-old come up with a very, very long chain I made earlier. In fact, is 68,408 popsicle sticks. I remember correctly. It was produced by the school in Natick, Massachusetts. But you have enough sticks or enough materials, you can get a try. Well, would barbecue sticks or toothpicks work? Yes, I think they would work. You may need to add more than one toothpick or barbecue stick. They don't have to be stacked one on top of the other, like so. They can actually stack side by side to create the same amount of tension. The problem with barbecue sticks and toothpicks are that they are quite thin, and because they're quite thin and not very thick, share as much potential energy as something like our popsicle sticks. But I think that's a bit of an because complex math topic already from here. Good or not good? So, yeah, actually, very much whether bridges or not. Yes, this exact system can be used to some bridges, planning, and installation that and explain just as a visual for how tedious this might be to learn to make for bridges and other structures, but it can be applied for that. So for the Cobra weave, it's diagonal, right? Let's start with 3. Then we're adding our sticks in a 45-degree angle from one another. All right, hold on. There we go. And them. This one. All right. It's a very short one, and then some to trigger over here. Hold on. Oh. Okay, it looks like this one's not very steady. Hold on. Let me just put that up. Stable on its own. If I were to release it, it suddenly flings back open on itself. Would you know if there are any craft stores or materials optical sticks during this time? Honestly, I don't know of any stores that might be open during this time, but again, may use any variety of materials. I'm actually going to look this up again. May use any variety of materials. One of the other materials thinking about using was actually this roll of plastic. Because it was kind of bendy, I think it would also work. One part of the material is really fair. This does mention or how actually the length of the entire snake or the entire chain is not dependent on the amount of tension you produce. What would matter is how do you call this? What would matter is the of plasticity versus the amount of elasticity that your sticks may have. Okay, so how do you call this? When you talk about elasticity, formate, such as example stick, and then return back to its original shape. Whereas plasticity is where an object can be deformed and then will stay deformed. For example, maybe a piece of metal is a good way of explaining that. As for snapping, that generally means that an object doesn't a lot, or you've already gone past its how do you call this? It's I forgot the term. Give me a sec. But how do you call this? Because the object can no longer take for out of this one. An object for already in hold itself. Don't even for Popsicle of Yeah, and if things snap, um, I could actually get back to you guys on that also when I ask a friend in materials engineering. Okay, so it looks like I'm not getting any questions anymore, which is kind of sad, but you know, it's also quite fun. I had fun making these with you guys. So I'm actually gonna move these out of the way again, all the way. And before I back here, I'd like to remind everybody to again wash your hands and also to social distance if you can. And you know, it would always be great for if you did during this tumultuous time, so we can help flatten the curve. And finally, to have some fun during this very, very unique point in history. So before I send you guys off, please remember to follow us on Facebook at the Mind Museum. You may also check out any of our old videos for Mind at Home. We're going to be producing these every week, at least twice every week, in order to have some fun and learn at the same time. Hope everyone stays safe, and if you're still watching, guys, you want more surprises for everyone. I made a long chamber here. So just end our day, let's activate this one in 3, 2, 1, and all right. So with all of that done and all of the stick bombs exploded everywhere, once again, thank you very much out. See you all and I guess bye. Check Thursday for